There was a website that nobody could find. Then there was a webmaster who knew what to do. He needed to seek out the masters of SEO, and it's John Limbacher.
You must be watching old TV there.
Every once in a while here and there. the jingles work.
What was that? Gilligan's Island?
Oh, that was Green Acres.
Green Acres, that's right. I knew it was one of those old shows. Cool stuff. All right, how is everybody? Everybody staying well? And I see Dwayne's all bundled up over there. I got my sweatshirt on too. The sun is out, but it's still a little frosty out there.
Yeah, so
the last stab of winter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait. I noticed last night when I was coming home that it was 6 o'clock and it was still light out. I'm like, yes.
Nice.
I hate that one.
No, it's coming.
Yeah, I hate that when it's like 5 o'clock and it's still dark out. That just doesn't sit right with me for some reason. All right.
Okay.
Well, Joe had asked about keyword research.
Did you see the question I sent to you, John?
Yeah, we'll hit that one too. But Joe had asked about keyword research and SEMRush, and I had an update on that because I've tested. Somebody told me, as far as I knew, SEMRush was the only program that would tell you what keywords that you already ranked for. And somebody had told me that there was another one called Rank Tracker that is it's a module inside SEO Powersuite. So I went ahead and I bought SEO Powersuite, and I've been impressed and disappointed at the same time. And the reason that I was disappointed with it is you can't do anything with the version they sell you unless you go to the enterprise version. And that, I think, kind of sucks because, it's the difference between paying $299 and paying $699. A lot of people that would pay the $299 would not pay the $699. And I think I'm probably one of them. So it has 4 modules in it. One of them is a website auditor. One of them is a ranker. One is SEO spyglass, which spyglass basically, it'll give you a lot of competitive analysis and data on your competitors. And then another module called Link Assistant. And don't get me wrong, all 4 of them have been really good. I just don't like the idea that you've got to upgrade to really use them. Like, for instance, the website auditor gives you a great report. It's a very long, detailed report with all of the stuff that you need to do to fix your website. The problem is, like, for me, I'm going to want to give that to somebody and I can't export it. I can't even print it.
Wow.
And I'm like, that really sucks. For them to require me to pay another $400 to get access to the actual reports, that pisses me off. So I really was disappointed in the product because of that. I mean, I could see the white label part where you put your logo on the reports, but not to be able to print the report out even with their logo on it. That's kind of ridiculous.
So wait, John, is that 600 for a lifetime, or is that a month?
No, it's actually an annual.
Oh, okay.
It's an annual price. Yeah.
Okay, so that's like $50 a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, it's not that bad. It's for me, it's comparable to SEMRush because I'm on the $50 a month program. I'm grandfathered. I don't think they have that anymore.
Well, I think if I keep this, I'm paying $100 a month.
Yeah, with SEMRush. Now, for people that are doing their own stuff, like for you, Joe, you're you're not doing this as an agency, you're just doing it for yourself. You don't need SEMRush all the time. You just need it for a month or two to do your research, get your facts and figures, and then you don't need it anymore. There's no reason for you to
Right.
keep SEMRush long term.
So I'll pay $100 for a month and
Yeah.
get what I need.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Get in there. I mean, just work the crap out of it and get what you need and then be done.
Well, that's the thing. There's too much here. I'm looking, I'm like, this is overwhelming. What I found, John, and I think this is good. You know, I started doing a lot of stuff with Wave.
Okay. What's
Wave
Wave?
apps, right? Wave apps. It's a bookkeeping program.
Oh,
Anyway,
okay.
it's like,
Gotcha.
it's like, that's how I can do my bookkeeping for $47 a month.
Okay.
Well, Wave is owned by H&R Block. Wave now, when my clients go in there, they get a big thing. Hey, let us do your taxes.
Oh, so
They are my direct competitor now. I'm like, no, I want their clients are my clients. So how do I, you know,
so what you don't want to do is you don't want your clients to become their clients.
no. Oh, my clients aren't going into Wave anymore. We figured that out.
Okay. Okay. So you're just using the Wave for yourself and not giving them access.
Yeah, we don't even really need Wave. We just liked it because it was free, it was easy. But now I'm like, oh my God, because I could never really determine who my real competitor was.
Okay.
You know, now I'm like, oh my God, they do bookkeeping, they do taxes. That's what I do.
Yeah. I mean, think about that from a lead generation perspective. Here they're giving away, this is a perfect lead magnet for them. They give away their software to do something of high value, and then they're using it as a prospecting tool to get tax prep. Awesome.
They didn't start Wave, they bought it.
Okay.
But yeah, I love them. So I'm like, how do I capture their low-hanging fruit or whatever you call it?
Well, if that were the case, you might look into what you could do to replicate that. Because that's what you always want to do. You want to see what are the competitors doing and why. Like, I can tell you why they bought it. They bought it as a lead generation tool.
Oh yeah, I know what I'm like. I was expecting it. It just happened really, really quick.
Yeah.
And I didn't know they were gonna put it like right in the everybody's face.
Mm-hmm. Why not?
So my question is, now that I know, you know, do I use H&R Block? Do I use Wave apps? Like, what reports in SEMRush can I use to figure out what my best keywords are?
Okay, so let me open up SEMRush here. And keyword research, it's kind of the same as it always has been, and it's kind of different. It's different in the aspect that as we evolve, we get smarter with keyword research. And also Google is evolving with their ranking algorithms, like keyword research. And the other thing too, I don't really believe that Google is telling the truth. Imagine that, right? I think, well, I know for sure, I've proved this throughout the years, that they seed things for people that are doing keyword research as a trap. So
I know, I've heard.
You got to watch out for that kind of stuff. Like, here's a perfect example going on right now. The word near me. Google somehow has figured out that people are searching using the word near me. And they're discovering this from actual real users, real users' behaviors. So what they're doing is they have to figure out who the near me results should be. Now, that's them on their side. So think about this from an SEO perspective, right? We're on the SEO side. We want to rank for what people are searching for. So we go in, we do keyword research, and we find out, oh, people are optimizing for, or people are searching for near me. So what do? They turn around and they start optimizing their sites for keywords like near me. That does not make any sense. You know, it doesn't. It makes zero sense whatsoever for you to optimize pages and keyword stuff your pages with near me. Nobody does that. Nobody writes things like, oh,
Okay.
if you're shopping for, cardigan sweaters near me, I'm the one you should come to. They don't
Yeah,
do
it doesn't make grammatical sense, right?
no.
Okay.
So by you doing that, Google has set a trap and they're going to catch you. Now, with Site Pop, I get this question a lot. And at first I told everybody, don't do it. But then after thinking about it, I'm like, well, with Site Pop, it makes sense because those are cell phones running searches. And that is a natural behavior for a searcher to run that search. So that's what you want. You want the signals from the outside to tell Google that near me, you should rank for, but not putting it on your site. That's like raising the red flag. So
But
when
only people like you, only you know that, John.
but when you're doing, well, that's probably one of the reasons I'm one of the only people, or I'm actually the only one I know of that's never got a client site banned for SEO. Never, ever, not my entire career.
Let's keep it that way.
I try and think like steps ahead, so I stay out of harm's way. But that comes down to keyword research. When you're doing keyword research, be careful of the terms that you take, because I don't care who you're doing your research through, whether it's SEMRush or Google directly or any of the other keyword tools. A lot of the data, if not all of it, is coming from Google. Google is they're the provider of that data that's getting scraped for you to decide what keywords you want to go for. So it's coming from the belly of the beast. So be careful is the short moral to the story. Take what they give you and you need to interpret it.
I think what you taught me was that they don't like you gaming the system.
No.
You got to actually give them real content.
Yeah, you need to be in alignment with what they want. And what they want is they want to provide a good user experience for obvious reasons. If they don't provide a good user experience, if the searchers don't get what they're looking for, then they're not going to use the service anymore. They're going to go use Bing or Yahoo or some other service. And when that happens, their circulation goes down. Think of them as an old-fashioned magazine publication. The more circulation, the more ad dollars, the more revenue generated. They are a revenue generated business by ads. So circulation is their lifeblood. If they lose viewers, that costs them money.
No, it's like a newspaper. If I don't read the whole newspaper, it's not worth as much. Like, I'll just read the sports section.
Yeah.
I'm not reading the whole, I get that.
Yeah. So,
and I'm looking at terms like LLC versus S Corp, right? I can talk about that all day. I could do videos, but I don't know if that's the best word for me to use.
Well, what you want to do is you want to find out what people are looking for. And a lot of times what you'll find is it's different than what you think. Because you're a professional in a particular category. And we're all that. We're all professionals in our own categories. So we know things that our prospects don't. And we take that for granted.
I don't know what a prospect would ask me. That's why I'm like, what would somebody who's never in business ask me?
Well,
I
see,
don't know.
that's why you do keyword research to find out what they're asking Google.
And so that's why when I said I've exhausted everything, all of my ideas, you know, LLC, S Corp. So now I'm like, okay, maybe I can go by what Wave Apps and H&R Block are doing
Mhm.
and come up with something different.
Yeah. So let me share the screen here. So I've got SEMRush up, and back to my original thing, I was comparing this with SEO Powersuite. SEO Powersuite does not give you all the keywords that your site ranks for. It gives you a very small sprinkling. So SEMRush does a better job of that. So what was the Wave? What's the URL?
Wave Apps, what the domain is waveapps.com.
Okay, so waveapps.com. All right, let's see what we get here. So what happens here, we put waveapps.com into SEMrush, and we see there's 134,000 keywords that they rank for.
Wow.
So these guys are big. They're a powerhouse. They're doing paid advertising. They're spending almost $15,000 a month on paid ads.
That's it?
Now you can look at their ads. You can see what their ads are. This is really cool. You can see their backlinks. You can also see their display advertising. Paid ads, what this means is pay-per-click in Google. So they're spending 15 grand a month or 14 and a half grand a month in Google on pay-per-click ads. They're also spending another 3,500 on display ads. This is banner advertising. This could be like retargeting. This could be, you know, on the banner networks.
So what, could I take like those paid ads? Because I saw them and like just reword them.
Yeah, like right here, here's
Really?
their,
Yeah.
this is their ads for pay-per-click right here.
And I could see
That's
what kind of
they're,
traffic, I could see what kind of traffic they get from that, right?
yeah, if you go into the view details, you can get a whole bunch. There's 725 ads they're running.
Wow.
That's a lot of ads.
Well, they're
running.
huge. I'm surprised they're only spending that much money.
I would venture to say with that kind of ad spend and this number of ads, they're basically split testing right now. They're trying
Okay,
to they're trying to figure out what works so they can scale it.
right.
That would be my best guess for what's going on here.
Okay.
Because you know, if you divide 725 ads by $14,000, that's not very much per ad.
Right.
So, and then down here, here's their, these are the ads they're running in the banner ads, or, you know,
Wow.
let's see, make
So I could just
season.
I could just give this to my graphics people and say, you know, make it look something like this, right?
Yeah, big idea right there.
Right, right.
Make tax season less taxing. That's a very simple, big idea.
I like that.
You can learn a lot from your competitors with this tool.
I see that now.
So, and then here they've got text ads and image ads, and there's 3,300 versions of them.
Wow.
So if you go to view details, you can see all of it. It'll break it all down for you. So there's a tremendous amount of data here. Here also, let's see, let's go up here. It's telling you who it believes, who Google believes the main competitors for this are.
Right, I saw that. Now,
Wave
what about the
basis.
actual organic keywords? Like, there's, you know, the, what do they say? They have a couple of different percentages, like
Okay.
the difficulty of ranking.
Gotcha.
Volume.
Okay, so I'll
Right.
hit that. So here's the organic keywords. There's the organic competitors. Here's their paid keywords too. and the position that they're in and the search volumes and how much they're paying. So there's some keywords here they're paying quite a bit for, you know,
Yeah.
$8, $9 a click.
Yeah, I'm not paying that.
No, and those are all branded terms. So that's crazy for them to pay that much for their own brand. I would definitely say that they're in the test mode with this, and they're probably bleeding money badly. Now they're a big company. They can afford to do that a lot more than you can. So when you're doing, this is another thing. This is another pitfall to watch out for. When you're doing competitive analysis, it's the same thing as like watching out for Google seeding you. It doesn't necessarily mean you want to do what they're doing. You want to see what they're doing and decipher it.
Right.
And decide
Exactly.
what are they doing that's smart and what could I do that's better. So it's, you know, I don't mean to be ambiguous about that, but I just want you to know you're doing competitive research, not to copy it, but to learn from it and learn what's right for you to do. So back to organic keywords, when we hit view details, it's going to take you to a different page and it's going to show you all of it.
Right. So what really matters to me then?
Okay, so the big thing here is volume. Volume is important. This is how many people are running that search. Like invoice template. There's 110,000 people a month looking for an invoice template. You might think, why? Who are these people? What kind of invoice template are they looking for? Is this my audience? Or is that just something that means something different? Like Wave Apps login. This is people that want to know how to log into their Wave apps. 3,600 people a month. Free accounting software. So people are looking for free accounting software, 5,400 of them a month. So if you were to build let's say you were to build a very basic, rudimentary accounting software to give away for free as a lead magnet to get them to buy the real software after they get hooked on the free one, that would be a good lead magnet. You know, if that's
okay, cool. Yeah, we could do that.
But like a receipt app, these are good numbers. I mean, this is a lot of people searching for that.
Okay, so that's a good number. What about what is that KD percentage? That's the difficulty, right?
Yeah, that's keyword difficulty. This is basically for the pay per click. This is not really necessarily for organic. So
Okay.
I don't pay too much attention to that.
Okay.
What I do look at here is cost per click.
Okay.
The higher the cost per click, the more that tells me it's commercially viable. And
really?
What I mean by commercially viable is somebody wouldn't be paying $7 a click for that if it wasn't converting.
So how hard does that make it harder for me to rank?
And again, this is in the pay-per-click category. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be harder to rank in organic. It can mean that though. There's a semi-correlation, but not a direct line correlation. Basically, the more people are willing to pay over here probably means it's going to be more difficult in organic because it's worth more.
Okay. So I got to even dig deeper into the keyword to see if they're like even the people that I want.
Yeah, exactly. That's the biggest thing in keyword research. That's the biggest thing is you've got to think. You've got to think of, okay, what is the keyword? Who's that going to bring me? Is that the right person? And how valuable is that person? What's the lifetime value of that person?
So, you know, what I've been doing, like in mastermind groups and stuff, I just ask people, like, what are you thinking about when it comes to your taxes and your bookkeeping? You know, and I'm getting some ideas, but I'm thinking about maybe doing like a survey or something.
Okay.
I mean, how do people, I
You
mean,
can- You can do the survey deal. There's also over here under content marketing,
okay.
there's what's called topic research.
Ah, okay.
If you go to topic research, you can put in here, like let's put in accounting. And what it'll do, it'll get us content ideas. These content
Cool.
ideas are based off of what people are searching for. This is almost like a trending stuff. And then there's a really cool piece to this, which is the Q&A part. And it'll tell you like questions that people are asking related to this. And sometimes this will take a while for it to hunt up this info because
There's probably a lot of accounting. Right?
it's, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that it's churning up here. It's not just pulling up, you know, a list of topics. It's pulling up all the data behind the topics. So you see, it's still
Yeah.
chewing on it.
Well, listen, you more than answered my question. I don't want to take up, you know, I don't know if anybody else has any questions, but this is,
Well, I think this is important for a lot of people.
No, this is a good demo. Keep going, please.
The whole thing about, you know, the analysis of your competitors, it's pretty important stuff.
yeah,
here-
and I really, no, you like connected a lot of dots today for me. Thank you.
Yeah, like over here, you've got how many shares, how many backlinks, and how many Facebook engagements
Wow.
for this. You know, Institute of Management Associate or
Accountants.
management accounts. I don't know what that means. That might mean something to you, you know, being in the business. But you gotta look at this stuff and see, like professional accountant. And then you can see, you know, again, the engagement in Facebook, shares, likes, all that kind of stuff. But let's see, if you go to, where is it here? Overview. Okay, here's 10 interesting questions.
Oh my God.
How's that for research? And then here's 10 related searches. So balance sheet sample. Now, if somebody's searching for a balance sheet sample, they probably really don't know what they're doing.
That's my client.
That would be a good place. That would be a good place for you to show up and say, I see you're searching for a balance sheet sample. There's some pitfalls you really need to know before you go down this road.
Right. Now okay, I got it now.
And then you can create a lead magnet for that person that's looking for a balance sheet sample. Hell, give them one. And once you give it to them, tell them what to watch out for. Tell them why they might not want to do this on their own. Tell them what it could potentially cost them. Yeah.
And why it's going to trigger an IRS audit.
Yeah, scare the crap out of them. Go, by the way, you know, have you got your LLC set up yet?
Everyone that searches for balance sheet sample gets audited.
Yeah. That's classic. But you know, when you run this search, and all you have to do to run it is click on it, and it'll start the whole process over.
So now, is this what you use?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah, it makes it really simple now to run down another rabbit hole. Now, you know, and I say that it's true. You could spend the rest of your life in here doing research, and I don't want you to do that. I want you to do enough research to get something to move forward with.
Yeah.
You know, you need to move to action as fast as possible, because without
I'm looking for 12 keywords right now. That's my assignment. And then, you know, I have somebody, you know, doing stuff with I don't even know what the heck they're doing, but I don't care. All I got to do is get them the words.
Yeah, but now look at these questions. These are probably much better questions here.
Wow.
So, you know, what is the statement of cash flows? They're like finding out after they run that first search, they're like, oh God, there's other stuff. What is this? What is that? You know, they're digging in deeper. How do you read a balance sheet of a company?
That's a good one.
That might not be. That might be somebody that's trying to invest.
That's true.
That might see. Here's where this is a thinking man's game. You've got to think, what's the intent of that search? This is probably not somebody that's doing their
Yeah,
taxes.
even the cash flows. Okay.
So again, back to your expertise, you're going to be able to decipher this way better than I am to be able to decide.
No, there's a lot of stuff here.
Yeah. So
There's a lot.
SEMRush is an awesome tool. You don't need it long term. You need it to, you know, to just pack up your data and go to work.
They do make it hard to cancel though. You got to email technical support.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah.
I've never tried to cancel. I've had them I've had them since they began.
Okay. I have a question, sir.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, the question is continuing on with, after going with SEMRush and this demonstration of knowing the keywords and what people are looking for and all, and seeing how much money this company was putting into their advertising, using Joe as an example. Money out, your mantra is money out must be money in. Is there a way to find out if the money they're putting out on SEMRush that we discovered at SEMRush, is there a way of finding out if they're getting any money back for that 15,000 going out?
The biggest indicator of a profitable campaign is that they run it for an extended length of time. So if they're continuing to do pay-per-click on particular keywords over a long period of time, that's a damn good indicator that it's converting for them. And again, you don't want to take that for granted, because if they're a huge company and they've got a massive budget for branding, you can get killed trying to follow them.
Exactly, but that's why I was trying to find some kind of justification or parameter or meter or some way of saying, okay, if Joe puts up $15,000 a month, would he be seeing 45,000 coming back in because of the 3-to-1 ratio?
Yeah, and it depends on what part of it depends on how good he is at selling too. You know, if you're not good at selling and you don't have a campaign in place that's going to convert for you, you can put, you know, tens of thousands of dollars out and have nothing come back. On the other hand, if you're really good at knowing who your prospects are, what their buying triggers are, you can put a little bit of money out and have a massive conversion ratio.
Okay.
So it really comes down to how good is your mousetrap? Do you have a big idea? Have you identified objections? Have you figured out how to create demand and desire with this audience? You know, create the demand and desire, eliminate the objections, and make the right offer. And you should convert very well. If you haven't done those things, that's gonna put you at a very big deficit going into advertising. I would say you're not ready for advertising if you haven't figured that stuff out yet. It's just going to be very expensive. You know, when you figure that stuff out, that's when you test. That's when you do your split tests. That's when you start to see results. And then you can fine tune your results. And when you get your results acceptable, that's when you scale. And that, you know, that's when you start buying more ads. And if you buy more ads and the ratios scale up accordingly, then you can accelerate that. You want to make sure it wasn't just a fluke. You want to make, you know, don't like get excited because you made your first dollar and then go dump 10 grand into the ad budget. Make sure it's sustainable as you scale up. You know, you don't want to create your own market crash. So, but you know, it's a lot of common sense is what this game is all about. Don't do things that don't make sense. You know, like I was talking to Mr. McLean there. I see he's on the call today.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh, I slept like a baby last night after being on a boat.
Yeah, I don't even remember what I threw out at you there at the end, but it was like I heard his big idea, and I'm like, how about this? What was it I said?
Dude, you said pure gold that literally I had to sit in the parking lot in the parked car for about 15, 20 minutes and take it all in because I knew I would be so focused on it when I drove, I would not be paying attention to traffic. Long story short, just to bring people up to, I'm just getting started to formulate what I'm doing. And my question to John was about how do I grow my email list so that I can eventually make an offer on a product I don't have yet. But the point is to get those emails now, and one way is through affiliates. So I could reach out to people that have a podcast or anyone that's further along the route than me. So I could reach out to those people and ask to be a guest and to speak on their presentation. And then at the end they say, well, that's interesting. How can you get a hold of you? I can say, well, you can download my free lead magnet. You're not using that phrase, but whatever it is, a free lead magnet. So people will go to that site that I give them. Let's say it was, if John was interviewing me. And so I say, go to moneycoachchris.com/dominators. I would say, go there and get get your free book, your free ebook, which is my lead magnet. The benefit would be that they would go there, they would download that thing. I would capture, without trying to sell, I would capture their email address for the future sale of the product I'm developing so that I can make an offer in the near future. The benefit to the affiliate, the person that had me on the show, when I give that name, go to moneycoachchris.com/dominators. When they do go there, the person that had me on would get an affiliate check on the things that they purchased when they make a purchase, when I make an offer. And so that's where we're at. To get to the point, I was saying, well, I know the audience I want to search for. It's couples that are fighting about money. That's the pain point. They're fighting about money. I want to work with those couples to show them an easier way. And my lead magnet was, I said to John, so I'm thinking of a lead magnet, like a small ebook called Why Budgets Don't Work. Why budgets don't work. Now, my target is couples that are fighting. And your words to me were, in like 2 sentences, you said, you've got to punch it up a bit. What if you called the lead magnet, Why a Budget Will Destroy Your Marriage? Look at everyone's reaction to that. I'm just talking, everyone's listening. I say 2 things that John said, and everyone's like, So the point is, that is what you turn me on to. It addresses specifically what my future prospects and what the audience of that affiliate would be interested in specifically. And that's what we got to yesterday. I have 2 follow-up questions on that.
Okay.
So, but anyway, that's the gift you gave me. It's you keep bringing it back to, what is the problem you're solving? Who is the audience? You're not talking to them. And specifically. And so anyway, that was the phrase. I understand if I use that link, moneycoachchris.com/dominators, that when a person makes a purchase on my product that I'm developing, the affiliate that had me on the show will make some money on that, which is great, which is good, which means they'll have me on again or promote me more. My question to you is, how long do they make money on that? Because my real goal is to sell a product so people understand the method, but then get them into a membership site, an ongoing membership site. Will that affiliate from 3 or 4 months ago, will they get affiliate on that on future purchases as well? How far does that go? I don't mean to be greedy, but you know.
No, that's a great question. And the answer is it's entirely up to you.
Okay.
So on future offers, like in Kartra, I use Kartra for my affiliate program. So when I set up a product, I can tell the product if I want to give an affiliate commission for this product.
Mhm.
Like you might create a product in the future you don't want any affiliates to get anything on.
Yeah.
Just set the number to 0.
Yeah.
And all the profit comes home.
Mhm.
You might have a membership site where you want to give your affiliates, you want to pay them for the first 12 months.
Yeah.
And then after that, all the profit comes home. You are in total control on a every product level that you set up in Kartra, who gets the affiliate payments and for how long and how much.
Right. Well, you've always talked about a message of being of service and being fair, and how you'd love to write those. The happiest day of your month is writing those affiliate
Yeah.
checks,
Yeah.
and which is a stark contrast to my like chase every dollar kind of attitude. But hearing what you're saying makes sense to not set a mousetrap for the affiliate, but like offer them better cheese, meaning that to get on a show, if I'm starting out, it would be great for me to say, listen, I'm working on a project. And so the link I'll give in the end, the get my free ebook will have your affiliate. Those people will be assigned because you're helping me. Those people, you'll get an affiliate fee for all those people for the first product I sell. That's good because so let's say I'm actually good for my word, and having me on actually generated money, not immediately, but it generated money. But I could stop it there. And then when I develop the membership site, when I'm ready to launch the membership site, I could go back to them as a proven entity that they did get money and say, listen, I have a membership site. Could you have me back on? And then offer them and say, listen, I'm going to sell a membership site for a year, and then offer them again,
Sure.
Affiliate for that. So this way that I can take it incrementally, I can keep upping the affiliate payoff. Okay.
Absolutely. I do want to talk like something you just said there. I was kind of laughing inside about where you talked about my attitude of loving to pay people and your attitude of wanting to keep all the money.
Yes.
So, or fighting for every dollar. Here's the thing, the difference between that is you're hardworking and I'm lazy.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, lazy is going to kick your ass every time.
Yeah.
The lazier the guy is, the more he's going to make effortlessly because he's going to figure it out.
Yeah.
Now, here's the way I think about it. When I write those checks out, like let's say I owe Chris, $10,000 this month of affiliate commissions. When I sit down to write that check out, I go, wow, I really value this guy because he just put $10,000 in my pocket without me doing any work.
Right.
And if I got 100 of those guys, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Whereas on your thing, what you said, fighting for every dollar, you're a one-man show.
Yeah.
If you stop working for a second, poof, your money evaporates. It's gone.
Yep.
With me, I can stop working any day. I can go fishing. I can go play on my boat. I can do whatever. I still have all those affiliates working.
Right.
And I'm not.
And I got to tell you, I'm really all listening to it. I'm really all about the affiliates, about having people to reach their audience as long as I'm not in direct competition, but I'm complementary to what they're doing. And if they have a podcast like every week, or more, they've got to come up with content and whatnot. And, so having someone on to bring an outside view, an outside perspective, that's just great, show content for them. So I'm all about that. I have a question for you about a different way to get affiliates. Okay. So again, I'm starting out, and again, all of us that start out, we're like, well, who am I to, and who's going to give me a chance, and all that chatter, right? But the point is, so I'm seeing myself, once I have the infrastructure and once I have a solid lead magnet, reaching out to people above me and asking to be on their podcast. Now,
Okay.
if they review me and see I don't really have that much of a following and not that many people on YouTube or whatever, if they might say, well, come back later, and that's fine. It's all about, the numbers and knocking on the door.
Yeah.
My question to you is this: would a different approach be to reach out to them? If I had a podcast, a very simple thing, if I reached out to someone instead of asking to be on their show, do you think I might have a better chance of just starting a relationship by reaching out to someone and saying, I follow your stuff, the flattery approach, the genuine flattery, and saying, you know what, I follow your stuff. Would you be a guest on my show and talk about who you are and what you do? For them, it might be an easier thing. It only take a half hour of their time, and they're not exposing unknown to their audience.
No, you're asking the wrong questions.
Okay.
What's important to an affiliate is
Yeah.
money.
Okay.
So what happens if you say, hey, would you like to come
Oh.
on my show? And then they come on your show and they don't make any money.
Gotcha.
What did you just destroyed yourself.
Got it. So a better way is to say, listen, come on my show. I'll give out that link. That'll be evergreen. That link will be there, and you're going to make money. Okay.
And they don't care about your following. They don't care about your education. They don't care about anything other than how much money they're going to make from you.
Yeah. Okay.
So what's important to them is how much you pay, how fast you pay it, how well you convert. Your EPC number is important. I know you won't have that to begin with, but once you do your first successful webinar, you will have an EPC number. EPC is earnings per click.
Right.
So like if you have, let's say you've got a $10 EPC, they can calculate in their head on the fly, oh, I've got a list of 100,000 people. We should be able to get a 10% conversion ratio on the clicks. So 100,000, that's 10,000. And then I'm going to make a $10 EPC. I'm going to make 100 grand.
Yeah.
Hey, when can we schedule?
Yeah.
Not, hey, who's following you?
Yeah.
They don't give a rat's ass who's following you. They run the numbers and they decide in an instant whether they're going to schedule you or not.
See, that makes perfect sense to me. And now, just like last night, you gave me a pivot in the right direction. The way my mind goes in the beginning, it's still stuck in that, well, who am I with no audience? And here I am thinking, why don't I just start a podcast and build this entirely useless thing to ask someone on, will they make no money? You know what I mean? But that keeping busy behavior keeps me from the real action, which is to just start calling people.
Here's something I know you know.
Yeah.
Animal House. The little angel and the little devil. Take the little devil out back and shoot him in the head.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
That's
putting
right.
the wrong message in your head. Take him out back and kill him.
Yep. Fastest. And the white angel says, follow the fastest path to cash. Fastest path to cash. Yeah.
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 And the
Okay.
little guy that's telling you you're not worthy, take him out back and shoot him in the head.
Lord have mercy. Yep. Yes, indeed. All
He's
right. Well,
lying
thank
to you.
Isn't it funny? You kind of give the answers, and then I spend all day and all night thinking of like, well, what if I went around this way and did it? And it's like, no. Just do it this way. So thanks for your consistency.
No problem. I've been the same for a long time.
Yeah. But then success started, but being on the right path felt better than wandering around in circles chasing your ass.
I never really did that very long.
Okay. That's not a lot of fun, and it doesn't pay well. Thanks, John.
No problem.
Hey,
All right.
hey, John,
Yeah.
Hey, you still have that membership template that's in your Done For You campaign, the one that's sort of stripped down?
Yeah, I believe so. I think it's in the bonus section in the ACT membership.
Okay, so I just log in there and find it, and then
It's somewhere under the bonus tab.
okay, and then what did I came in a little bit late? Did you guys talk about the new Google SEO changes that are happening?
No, we haven't really covered any of that stuff. We've jumped right into keyword research
Oh, okay.
and
Yeah, 'cause
did a lot of the
out.
methodology. There are some new things that I don't know that they're so new really. Some of the internet marketing space has come up with some new words, new acronyms, which they love to do.
Yeah.
And, you know, in terms of, I don't know what it is, TF, I think is one of them, term frequency. All that is, you know, it's the same thing as keyword density. It's just somebody decided they wanted to put a new name on it. So
Yeah, I just heard that yesterday Google announced that they're no longer going to allow tracking or track users through cookies or whatever. I'm just wondering.
oh yeah, that has to do with privacy, not necessarily SEO. They're trying to sidestep some major disasters from privacy issues, I think.
Yeah, so it says it won't use new ways of tracking as you phase it out of new browsers for cookies. So
Yeah,
one
now
of the
who
things
that's going to affect more than anything is advertisers. Advertisers, they're the ones that data is very meaningful to. So
Okay.
they're going to be kind of flying blind. It's kind of like in the SEO world, they took a lot of data away from us a long time ago when they stripped out a lot of the keyword data.
Okay.
You know, we used to be able to get the analytics right off our site for exactly what terms people were finding us for. But then they ripped that right out from under us because you know, and it hurt. Just like, you know, when they rip this data out, it's going to hurt the people that are advertising with them. And, you know, it's going to hurt them too, because they're not going to spend as much, but they'll probably sidestep, you know, some kind of a major lawsuit. But
Well, one of the things I noticed.
Jeff is right. He says they still track everything. It's just how much they're going to give you. That's the thing.
Well, I noticed that with the new browsers, like there's one called Brave browser that I use that basically, you know, blocks every tracking thing, and it saves a lot of time. But with these type of browsers, that if you have, say, a subdomain, say, you know, myclients.webgrowmasters.com that's run through Kartra, that if you're landing on that page from, say, Facebook or something, that sometimes the cookies or the tracking methods don't tag at all within the page. So if they fill out a form, you know, there's no way to identify where or how they came from, or what even tag that they're associated with in that page. So like for an affiliate or a how did you find out about us?
Sure.
It used to be just, I would just, you know, tag that page, and then, you know, by default that would show up whenever someone filled out the form. So I'm just wondering if there's any other ways, workarounds on that.
Most of the tagging and stuff that you're familiar with, it comes from cookie-based tagging.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that someone can do to block you from getting that. Like they could be using the, you know, the Chrome browser.
Yeah.
You know,
Proper blockers. Yeah.
Yeah, they could use blockers. They could use privacy screens. There's a lot of things that people can do to prevent you from getting that data. There's also things that people can do to prevent you from retargeting them. Like they can go flush their cookies.
Yeah.
Flush their cache and their cookies. And, you know, that way, when they go on other sites and the ads display, they won't attach to the cookie. So there's ways that the user can have control. And that's part of the whole privacy thing. The users have to have control. When you take their control, then there's legality, there's privacy issues.
Yes.
So they have to have a certain level of control. And that sliding scale is constantly moving based on new laws and regulations and, you know, government intervention, what have you. There's all kinds of stuff that will force that to move on the scale.
So is it better to just have like a drop down, like how did you hear about us, and then have the affiliates in there as a drop down, or checkbox?
No, that's not really that effective. That's
Okay.
nobody's going to want to answer that. That's
So how do I track that?
well,
Especially-
you track what you can, and the
Yeah.
the rest you just got to be okay with. You don't need to know everything.
All right.
If your offers convert and everything, you'll be fine without knowing everything.
Okay.
So I would put more effort on the conversion part than struggling, grappling with how you're going to track everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's almost like the whole phrase, don't throw good money after bad. It's the same thing with your time. throw good time at the good things that convert, and don't waste time on things you can't control.
Got it.
So
Okay.
your life will be a whole lot happier that way. Guarantee it.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else before we wrap up here?
You mentioned earlier that someone had emailed you a question and you were going to answer it.
Oh
don't know
yeah,
who.
Dwayne, you want to hit that real quick?
Yeah. I'm starting a weekly live call like you do, and I had a question mainly about pricing to let people have it for 2 weeks free. And then I'm thinking and I'm feeling I might be underpriced, but I'm not sure. $29.95 for the first 100 people who sign up, and then $39.95 for everybody else.
Okay. For one thing, for everybody, this goes for everybody. I don't like the free thing and then try and get them to pay for it later. That does not convert very well. And it also doesn't leave people with a good feeling. Now, if you want to give them a $1 trial or a $7 trial or something where they're going to get access to it, but you got to get them to pay something for it. Don't do a free and then try and get them to pay later. It doesn't work. So let's say, I'll give you full access for the first 7 days for just $1, and you'll see the value. If you don't see the value, just cancel a membership. But I want to remove the risk off the front, position it that way. And as far as how much the monthly should be, that entirely depends on the value of what you're delivering and the size of the problem that it's solving. Like, and another thing, the lower the price is, not only the more will sign up for it, the longer they will stay with it. So
The higher the price, the more will those stay with it?
No, the higher the price, the less they're going to last. If it hurts every month when they see their credit card statement, they're probably going to cancel sooner rather than later. If it's a negligible price, they may never cancel at all, even if they stop using it. Just the fact that it's there, I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose that. For that little amount, I don't want to lose that. That's what I do. And I have a very long retention ratio. I provide high value. I'm here anytime you need me. I mean, you might not need me for 6 months, but when you do, I'm here. For that small of amount, to have access and availability to me anytime you want it, on these weekly calls, it's a no-brainer. So that's how I did mine. The other thing too, if you have a higher dollar one, let's say you're trying to get people to pay more and you notice that they're dropping out after 2 or 3 months. So let's say it's $100 a month, and on average they stay 3 months. That's $300. What you might want to do in that case is say, I'll give you, it's $100 a month, but I'm going to give you a super deal today. I'm going to give it to you for half price if you buy a year. So instead of $300, you got $600. You just doubled your profit. And you got them to stay for a year.
Yeah.
So that's a case of looking at your numbers. Once you get your program rolling and you see how long people stay and you've got hard numbers, then you can make decisions like that. So
I see. And I can adjust upward or downward.
yeah, you can always adjust. Absolutely. what you want to do when you start off, say, this is my introductory pricing. It may not last. So get in, and always one thing people really like is if you lock in prices. If you tell them as long as you stay an active member, your price will never go up. If you leave and come back, I have no guarantees you'll come back at whatever price it is then. So that's another thing that you want to position into your offers, as it's a bonus. It's a bonus
John,
getting in now.
I got one more question about memberships. I have a potential client who's an elderly care provider, and they go into older folks' homes, and they basically make sure that the people have their medications, put on for their clothes, or help them with activities of daily living. And is it possible to use a membership by which they could have their employees log in and then run a form or post notes of what happened that day?
What was the question again?
So is it possible to have a membership in Kartra where you can log in, have someone, an employee post notes on a particular client, like
Okay. Not in Kartra necessarily. Kartra is not going to do that. That's more of a project management software.
Well, it's just a simple form. They just need to log in, make notes on whatever they did for that, patient or customer that day.
Yeah, that's project management.
Okay, yeah.
That's where I use Basecamp for that.
Yeah, but I want to brand it to their company. That's the thing. So
you might just need some kind of a custom solution, but it's going to be project management is what you're looking for.
Well, doesn't the membership allow you to have a form?
You can have a form, but posting the results of the form is what you're trying to do, I think.
Yeah, it would go into the Kartra under that person's profile, basically.
Yeah, I'm not really sure of an effective way to do that with Kartra.
Okay.
I mean, there's always stuff you can monkey with and do, but I don't see an effective way to. It's not built for that.
Got it. Okay. All right.
All right, John. Sorry, John. Something on picking up on Dwayne for membership.
Yeah.
I'm a kind of buyer. I don't like paying monthly, but if you make me an offer to be like buy 10 months and get 12 months, that's the kind of thing that attracts me.
Yeah.
Pay for 10, get 12. So next thing is, how is our progress on the PayPal campaign? And I sent you a link about Jill. Jill's having a thing. Jill Lubin. How do you pronounce it? Lublin. Jill, the PR person.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I sent you a link to. She's doing a master class in a couple of weeks or a week or so, just to see if the PR thing might help you also on the PayPal campaign.
Oh, okay. Well, I just got a letter from the Department of Justice that is putting the heat on PayPal for me. And it's getting them to respond. The load of crap that they sent back in their defense is unreal.
Whoa. Yeah. What was the resolution on that?
Because, there's no resolution yet, but they're basically just putting their gloves up to defend themselves right now over my claims. And it's pretty amazing the crap that they're putting out that is just total. It's just a bag of lies is what it is.
Would that be a signal that there might be a crack in their wall, that they're so adamant, or not?
Well, they're just basically lying through their teeth to try and keep himself from having a real big problem right now.
Which, of course, would then lead back to them to lying.
Yeah.
So it could be a double trap for them.
So I'm hoping that the powers to be see through that and dig a little deeper and just really put the screws to them.
Now,
what you could do, John, also is file multiple small claims court cases in them, and they have to send out an attorney to meet with you and the judge, which is more expensive than typically the cost of just settling and paying you.
Yeah.
And then you
yeah.
triple the
Well, that'll definitely be part of the plan, but later down the road, I'm not really in it for the money. It's not a money thing at this point.
they did it to
It's a
us.
year.
They took $9,000
Yeah.
and for 9 months
Yeah.
for no reason.
Well, you got it back though, right?
Yeah, after
Well,
9 months.
mine, they went the 9 months and then they took it. They're not giving it back.
Did they say why?
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
Yeah. There's no legitimate reason for why.
Yeah, that happened to another client of ours. There should be a class action. If you have that, I can definitely put you in touch with them because they lost $21,000 doing that.
Yeah. No, they're making false claims that I had stuff on my website that's never been on my website. In fact, I've got the opposite of what they're claiming. And
Now, the other sword is FTC, and the other sword is Consumer Bureau.
Yeah.
The Consumer Bureau
Yeah,
of the
Consumer Protection Bureau.
right. So we have state consumerism, federal consumerism, and the FTC swords standing by.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I got a lot of things I'm going to poke in their side before this is over.
Yeah, keep us posted on that because it's serious fraud nationwide. Millions of people are dealing with this.
Yeah. 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 It's just not something I'm going to stand for. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to wrap it up. I got another meeting to hop over to. So great,
All right,
great
thanks.
call this week. Thank you
Thank you.
all for coming, and we'll be back on next week.
All right.